July, so I wouldn't have any income after July. Then but I still can't have a full-time job after before my PhD graduation. So usually I need 6 more months for my PhD graduation to prepare to write up my thesis. So I don't have income makes me very worried. Uh, I have applied for so many jobs and but there's no interview at all. So one day my boyfriend and I went to shopping to the supermarket. On the way to the supermarket, we saw a pub nearby. They have a paper on their window saying that cleaners are required. If you are interested, call this number or just walk in. So I I I just take a picture of that image, and then when I go home, I call that number. It's quite smoothly, and she asked, "That's a woman," and it seems like the woman is a boss. And then she asked me to whether we can get an interview tomorrow, the next day. So the next day I'll get an interview with her, and it's quite smoothly. And she kept asking me, "Are you willing to work here?" I said, I'm willing to. And it turns out, I previously I quite worried that they wouldn't like me to work too much here because the student visa you can't work a full-time job. And then he said that they can only offer 6 hours per week, so 8 hours per week. And 4 hours a day. So I think that's perfect for me because I can only work 20 hours per week um, with student visa. So we are quite happy to accept that job. Both parties are quite happy. And at the end of the interview, the older woman and Shirley, she said that she will let me know the answer at the end of the day. So I went back home quite excited. I really wanted to, or really think that I can get that job, but I waited for so long and I didn't get the get the notification. Maybe I think that maybe that old woman didn't make my telephone number right. So I was so sad, and I also think that maybe she is looks so happy with me. Why she just didn't want to hire me makes me so sad. So I makes me quite sad. And luckily the next day I get her message, her phone saying that they would like to offer me the job. So turns out her son is the boss of the pub. So she had to ask the permission for her son, and then before giving offer me the job. I'm very happy to go to the job. And just one day later I went to do the cleaner's job. And there are so many things to do. There so many things that is different from what I do in the university previously. And especially using the buffer. They think that the buffer is very difficult to use. So I use the buffer to polish the floors. Yeah, that thing polish that thing. And after two times working there, and I have learned, I have completely mastered how to use the buffer to polish the floors. But it's not that buffer is any not that problem. And they also need, because it's an older pub, and it's quite a it's quite a popular among the, because in the neighborhood that I was living in, there are so many older people live nearby. So they are quite popular. These older people would like to elderly people would go to the pub to enjoy the music and the drink as well. So I didn't expect, I didn't know that in our neighborhood, maybe the other industries, the other shops is just always clapping down about the supermarket getting down, farmers' food getting down, Iceland getting down, but the pubs is still quite flourishing. Maybe it is because of the older people. They need a company, they need a place to communicate, to talk, to drink. So it's quite popular. And also, and I also learned that they are the handles. The handles need to polish. The handles is made of uh, copper. So I have to polish the brass. And they have 3 steps to polish the brass to make it very shiny. First, you have to use Brussels. That is a very smelly smelly thing, very similar like a toothpaste, but it's very smelly. It contains ammonia and petroleum, and you have to spread that thing, and make a blue thing, light blue thing on with your fingers on the surface of the handles, and then polish it, and then use a very rough um, cloth to polish it. You have to use a lot of strength to polish it, and then after polishing it, you have used another cloth to try to wipe it away, and then the last step is use a very fine cloth to just completely clean this polished things. Mm, I think this thing is the most difficult one is the first step, because that thing toothpaste like that Brussels is have ammonia and petroleum in it. Whenever we put it out, it makes me smells very badly. That is one bad thing. And the other bad thing is that I have to clean the men's have to clean the men's toilets. The men's toilet is a very long, maybe 2 meter long, stainless steel plate. The men's just pee there, and then stainless, and then I have to use some liquid to spray on the stainless steel, and then use hot water to pour on it. And once I use hot water pour along the plate, then the very bad smell comes out of it, and they need me to pour it twice, and pour it twice, and then use another liquid to pour it twice, and last you use odor killer thing to spray to the whole place to kill the odor. And this thing is makes me every time. I think the first few times when I do that thing, I feel smell is so bad, and the other woman didn't use. The other cleaner works there. She is a British woman. I think the first time yeah, she has two sons, and one son has a Chinese girlfriend, and that Chinese girlfriend has a PhD from Edinburgh University. I was so surprised, and I see that she even find a job in London, and I see he have so many publications, and then I asked, oh wow, I think this girl is so fabulous that I didn't have any publications accepted, and this girl have so many publications, and I wonder what does your son doing, and she said that her son is doing the masons just doing the stone artwork, the stones for the like stone furnitures, not furniture, just the stones in the gardens or stone in the kitchens, just like a construction worker, things like that. So I was so surprised that wouldn't that Chinese girl like his son, her son, but I see that woman is very beautiful. I think and it's also very nice, always smiling. So I think that is the reason why that Chinese girl would like like her son. So I'm very and that is one thing. But so that woman is very nice. She teach me what to do and what to do. And so the first time first few times, every time I do it, she didn't wear a mask, just wearing a mask to clean the men's toilet. But after I do it, I feel very bad about the smell, and then after that, I would use a mask to polish to clean the men's toilet, and then but even I was wear a mask also, I still feel very bad about that. You can't stop smelling that things. So and also they also and the last time they asked me to do more, just to wipe all kind or wipe this, wipe that, all things like use my hand to touch every corner of the pub, 3-story pub, every corner, and things that I am so cheap, just clean and touch every part of it, just wipe every part of it that I makes. And they would maintain their furniture so well, like their wood. They would use the wood. Furnish, make spray something on the wood and make the wood shining and smells good, and also the brass, the copper, they would use so many Brussels thing that to ammonia, so many make the copper looks shining. I think these older people would be very happy. Older customers, when they go to the pub, they would like very happy to see this brass handles are very shining, and also the use the buffer for the floors. Not just using the buffer, and the floors is a kind of rubber, red rubber surface, and I have to buffer it, make it shine. And you cannot just like hoovering it. You have to back and forth very slowly, like it shaking around the road to polish it. And it's about maybe about totally about 20 square meters, but they require that you have to polish the buffer the floor about 20 about 40 minutes to 1 hour to just polish the floor to make it shining. And then and then so many things too. Not only just the cleaning, you have to hoover, like the floor. You have to hoover. First time hoover it, second time wash it with the mop, and then third time you have to mop. You have to buffer it, and then there's so many things to do, and the desks, and you have to clean it, and also you have to do the kitchen. You have the kitchen, the kitchen you have to clean. You have to make stoves for them, make the hamburgers for them. At first, I would think that you do the cleaning and still make the food. That would be very uh, high unhealthy, hygienic for the customers. But I think this is not a problem for them because they would require you to change the gloves when you switch your things. But and also. That will require you to wear a hat while you making food. So maybe hygiene is not a bad thing, but after so many hard work and also because on the top floor they even have a hotel. So they have hotel is about 35 pounds a day, and this hotel is mostly, as I said, used to be a lot of homeless people to live there because the government, the council will pay for the homeless people to live there, and then sometimes the homeless people will ruin their furnitures and even burn their furnitures and or even fighting with each other. And then when I see the hotel, it looks quite clean and nice, but I think it is not their it is not the boss's effort. It is because of the cleaners' effort to make it so clean and everything. Although it looks very cheap, hotel, but everything keeps so in order. It's all because of the cleaners' effort to keep it like this, and. The water pressure is very low the top floor, just the the first the second floor, and that the hotel well is it's a the ground floor is the ground floor is the pub. The well is polished, everything is polished, the wood polished, the brass polished, and even the floor is polished. And the first floor is the lounge. So if the customers too much customers in the ground floor, they will go to the first floor, and the top floor is the second floor is the hotel, and the hotel is have very low water pressure. So when you have a toilet on the top floor, then the water flows very slowly to clean it, and so that is my impression about it. So I think like there are so many work to do, and then I asked how the two cleaners work there, and one cleaner said that they the first their first pub was quite successful in Mayfield. That is very far away from the place that I live in. Not very far away. It's a little bit maybe poorer place than the place, a little bit poorer place than the place that I live in. So they quite successful in the Mayfield, and then so they opened another hotel here in the place where I live 7 years ago, and then the sheriff's um husband died, and then is because then becomes her son becomes the boss, and things like it's quite a nice family business, and so many things to do. And then told I asked the other. They said that I used to have two cleaners alternatively, but one cleaner has sickness, and then and maybe the sickness is too heavily and will never come back. And so they were asking the previous employee to work as a cleaner for her temporarily. And then I met that woman. She is very nice too, and she even taught me how to make the best sandwich. And he used me a combination of cheese, uh, red onions, and mayonnaise. These three things just combined together, and he make me to have a taste of it. Wow, that is really nice. Good eating, so I like it very much. So since then, I always make that myself. Although my boyfriend don't like cheese, I think that is very good combination. That's what I learned from me, and that's the only time I see her. She said that because they found me to be the cleaner, so she can go home now, because he is just trying to help because someone took sick, someone was sick. So I was going to work there. I was thinking that since I always so cheap on myself, always check little money that I can coupons that I can earn from the supermarket. Why not just work for 4 hours to earn some money? And they said that it's about 12 pounds an hour. That's minimum. That's minimum wage. And then I think, oh, minimum wage, then minimum wage. I shouldn't ask more, but it's really a lot of work. I remember last time when I worked there 4 hours with doing all these things there. I didn't have any rest after during the 4 hours. After you doing this, you have to do that, and then back and forth. You like you have you hoovered, cleaned, washed the floor, and then you have to clean the men's toilet to wait, and during the time that you wait the floor to be dry, and then after, and when you do the everything else, then you have to go back to buffer the floor, and after you buffer the floor, you have to cook the stoves, and then you have to do the laundry and do all kinds of things, and so many things. Then I think that's a lot of work. And then that thing then at last she said that 1 week they will pay me the work 1 week and pay the next week, so it's 1 week delay of the pay, and then that's okay. Um and I remember in the interview they asked me, "Do you have a insurance number?" I said I have insurance number, but they did never ask my insurance number, so I wrote my insurance number to her. Then she said that, "Oh, we don't need that. I will pay you in cash." So it's so surprising. You will pay me in cash. So when I go home, I was quite. She said that will pay me in cash. I would say, "Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. Pay me in cash." And then she said that, "Oh, I was also paid in cash because the boss is my son. My son pay me in cash." So I didn't realize that's a problem. So when I go home, talk to my boyfriend about that, my boyfriend said that, "Oh, that's a problem because they pay you in cash. That means that they will not pay your national insurance, and they will never and take you as an employee. So if any so that is very unresponsible, and it's all kind of illegal." And then anyway, that my boyfriend said that and then you should just and in the this year, and then you have to pay tax to yourself, income tax to yourself, to do the self assessment report, just like I do last year, and self assessment report, and pay the income tax to myself, um then I feel like then after my boyfriend said that makes me very sad, because to do the cleaner's job you have so many things, so many detailed things to do, and so many steps to do, and then so without any stop and doing just use my precious hand to mop so many cheap stuff, and and then you just get a so low pay, lowest pay, and then they are going to uh, uh, take some uh, just take some not take it. I don't know how to say it. Just like take advantage of me, and I already in so such a miserable job, so bad a job condition, and then she still want to uh more exploit me by not paying national insurance for me, and And I know that if when I work in my university, they will either as a tutor or as a cleaner. The university will pay me national insurance and also will give me 19% of holiday pay. Means that you earn £100 actually with the minimum wage, but they will pay you 19%. If you earn £100, they will give you 19% more of your pay. So if you don't take holidays, so it means that they saved this money and saved both the holiday pay and the national insurance. So if they just pay me the minimum wages, means that I have lost at least £2. Maybe they should pay me £14 at least to uh, to the same thing will pay in cash than in the national insurance and the holiday pay. So I feel very bad about it. Since that it seems like this job is so hard, so exploiting me. So I feel very sad about it. And then after 2 days, then I feel a chest pain last night. For last night, I have felt chest pain on my right chest, up top of chest, and last night, and then the chest pain lasted for several hours, and then still a little bit of pain there. And I think that maybe it is because of the poisonous materials that I contacted during the cleaner's job, like this polishing brass Brussels, that thing that thing named Brussels, and to polish the brass. And I checked, I asked ChatGPT. They said that they have ammonia and petroleum that will be poisonous to my liver. And also, I talked about the use hot water to pour on the men's toilet, and they said that this hot water steam and will get a lot of ammonia just be steamed out into the air. And if I smoke smell it, then it will come into my body. Also, will make my they said that's even more strong, more severe cause for chest pain than that Brussels, and then that makes the things together that I think that I shouldn't do that job. It is not only low pay, but also the boss is exploiting me to the end. And that makes me so sad. So I told them that I quit. I don't want to do it. And they just and that woman Shirley just asked me to return the keys to them this morning, and I returned and never mentioned about when she will pay to me. I was so surprised, and I asked the ChatGPT about it, and the ChatGPT told me that you have to keep the evidence of about how many hours you have worked and how much money you have discussed. And then I didn't give this and not have such evidence. I don't want to do things like that so extreme. But these things like makes me a little bit scared. It is in UK, right? Not like in China. I think in China maybe some bosses will do better things to you, even in China, people wouldn't do so bad things to the cleaner's job because every people knows that doing a cleaner's job is very hard working. They wouldn't be so bad even to exploit the cleaners. So I don't think that I should be like doing things like that to get the evidence and then to protect myself. So I said that I told my boyfriend that I should I keep the keys and then make them keep the keys and then make them until they pay me back, and then I return the keys and said that my boyfriend that they definitely will pay you. So this is my experience, and I still have chest pain here. Uh, I really don't know what is the cause. I have never had this problem before. I think I used to stay up late even 2 years ago, but I never have chest pain here. But I after I doing this cleaner's job, I have chest pain. That makes me very, very bad about it. And then I remember that very nice woman, that very nice woman talking about she is very she would very expecting that she would have a Chinese grandchildren. So she why she would why she would to work for them for 7 years. Maybe they are not so bad. Maybe she don't know how bad things, um, how bad a situation she is in this poisonous working environment. So I'm very very so that is what I'm thinking. So and then this morning I have scanned the Twitter. Some people is some Chinese people is talking about you shouldn't go to Marriott, shouldn't go to this hotel, that hotel, this top hotels, because these hotels is just add in. They are not. And when and then they checked, they just do the experiment in these hotels, and they use some things. They checked in this hotel and leave and write marks on the things, and then they just use another batch of people get to into a check into hotel the other day and find that marks is still there. Means that they didn't change their bed sheets and didn't change their anything and didn't wash the toilet or didn't change their towels. So but I just think that like these hotels, the so many expensive hotels, and to keep these hotels have so good experience is the cleaners job, is all the cleaners hard working and patience and the responsibility to make the hotel look so nice and then so clean. But how much does the cleaner get paid? So this like this general Chinese journalist, they do this experiment in China, and just complain about all these things didn't change. Then they would at the last they would just complain about the cleaners, but they don't see the big picture, right? And maybe they didn't hire enough, didn't give the cleaners enough pay for their jobs, and they all wanted a clean, clean, clean hotel. And then, but the fundamental thing that is that these cleaners is get a very very low paid and a very bad working condition, like this poisonous odor things. Yeah. So that is my experience is talking about that I try to make a little bit money when my PhD stipend is going to end, and then try to do a cleaner's job, because like to doing an exercise to earn extra money. But I learned that the working condition is so bad for cleaners, uh, and uh, and uh, and their contribution is so important for the pub that I was working in. Yeah, like that pub, how that pub can be popular, can be so popular among their older customers. When their older customers went to the pub, and they are happy to see the handles, copper handles brushed so brightly, and the floors all buffered so brightly, so shiningly, and also the wood is also shining, and they didn't and if the cleaner didn't do their job properly, and then they wouldn't if they touch something dirty and were or not dusty, they will never come again, will give them very very bad impression. But the cleaner get the lowest pay and worst working condition. So that is what I that another that is what I have discovered. I don't know whether I think at the present I don't have any ability to change that situation, but I wouldn't do the cleaner's job anymore. Thank you.